What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and finally the day has arrived where the iPhone 6s has come to light. So that leaves me with a question. If you already have an iPhone 6, is it worth updating to an iPhone 6s? Do the changes justify the upgrade price? Or maybe you don't even have an iPhone 6 and you're debating between a 6s and an iPhone 6. Is the extra price worth updating to an iPhone 6s from an iPhone 6? So now that we have all the details about the iPhone 6s, we can start comparing the two feature-wise, spec-wise. Basically, I want to give you guys the best idea as to why you would want to upgrade from an iPhone 6 to an iPhone 6s if you already have one, based on the features and specs, or why you wouldn't want to. And there's actually a lot Apple did keep out of the keynote that I do want to share with you guys in this video here. The iPhone 6s has a lot of tricks up its sleeve, and I want to bring those to light when considering between the iPhone 6s or the iPhone 6. So let's begin. Now, Apple more or less is already trying to sway people over to the iPhone 6s because they removed the gold color option from their Apple Store for the iPhone 6, as well as a 128GB option. Now you can only get it in silver or space gray, and that is the iPhone 6, and only in a 16 or 64GB option. So already off the bat, if you're looking for more memory or more color options, the iPhone 6s is going to have the rose gold color option, the gold option, silver, and space gray. So two more color options than the iPhone 6 if you were buying new. Now, of course, if you already have an iPhone 6, this wouldn't sway you whatsoever. But the iPhone 6s also has the 128GB option. It's really a shame that Apple decided to keep it at 16GB base, but that's the same for both of these devices. So let's talk size. The iPhone 6s is not only thicker, it's also taller and wider as well. It's actually 0.2 millimeters thicker. That is so small, so unnoticeable, but it is there. The biggest difference between these two physically is the weight. The iPhone 6s will be 14 grams heavier, and that should be perceptible by just picking them up and holding them. So it's not really something that will influence you into buying the 6s over the 6, but it is a little bit heavier, it is a little bit thicker, a little bit taller, and a little bit wider. And that's all for the new 3D touch display. So they had to make sacrifices in order to fit that thing into the iPhone 6s. Now, fear not, all of your cases from your iPhone 6 will still work on the iPhone 6s, unless they're very precision-made designer cases. Most should work with the 6s. So don't worry about having to buy a new case if you already have one for your 6 and you're looking to upgrade. They will fit. So material-wise, the iPhone 6s is twice as durable, and I cannot wait to actually test this out, drop them, and break these guys. But so far, what we know about the iPhone 6s versus the 6 material-wise is that it does have that new 7000 series aluminum used in the production of the Apple Watch. It's an aircraft-grade alloy, so it's very tough. Now, my problem with the iPhone 6 is when you drop it, even from a waist-height drop, you'll get a lot of gouges in the actual metal. Like, it's so soft. When it meets force, it actually bends in very easily, and you get a lot of dents on them. So the Galaxy S6 Edge, which I actually tested too, it has a very tough metal alloy. So when it drops, you don't see bends, you don't see any gouges, you just see slight scuffs. And that's what the iPhone 6s will most likely be like now. So that's a much better improvement. And when it comes to actual numbers for durability, Unbox Therapy found a 2x improvement in bend resistance on the iPhone 6s. Now, that's not the only thing durability-wise that got an upgrade. The glass actually received an upgrade as well. It's now a dual ion exchange process for the glass, which makes it twice as tough as the glass on the iPhone 6. Now, there's no word on whether or not this will be better for shatter resistance or scratch resistance, and I'll be putting that to the test. But from what Apple has told us, it's twice as strong, so it really should be less prone to shattering. If you like to use your phone nude, then the iPhone 6s is truly going to be the more durable phone. Display-wise, these things have the exact same size display, same resolution, same panel underneath the fancy 3D touch display. It's exactly the same LCD panel, so there really is no difference in terms of quality there. However, of course, the 6s has the new dual ion exchange glass and the new 3D touch technology. Now, that display is made with precision in mind. It can tell the difference between a light tap and a firm press. There's actually a lot of technology behind that, and Apple actually said this was the most difficult technology to develop for the iPhone. It was extremely difficult because software had to meet hardware, had to meet usability, and it took them a very, very long time. They actually said it was many years they took to develop this technology. So it's more than just a gimmick. And let me me explain why you'll actually be using this every single day. So from the demo, we can see that 3D Touch will completely change the way you use your iPhone 6s. While the iPhone 6 is in no way outdated or anything, 3D Touch is going to make your experience so much better. To sum it all up, basically it's a streamlined experience for iOS. Doing things will be so much faster. I mean, you'll save milliseconds here and there, but they will add up, and overall you'll be able to get more done on your iPhone in a shorter amount of time than your iPhone 6. Now, for example, Peek and Pop. It's a new feature found with 3D Touch on iOS 9 for the iPhone 6s, where you'll be able to press very lightly, say on a link or a picture in a message, and you'll get a quick preview of it. You don't have to jump into that photo, you just get a quick preview of it, and when you press even harder, you'll actually jump right into that application. So it can save you some time just by previewing things without having to go into that application, and there are some really clever uses for 3D Touch that Apple demoed as well. For example, you can actually 3D Touch on the edge of the display and slide over, and it'll actually bring up your app switcher. So without having to double click on the home button, just firm press and you'll be able to go into your app switcher and switch apps. That is really cool, and that's just one of so many examples. So one of the other examples I really liked, 3D Touch shortcuts for apps. So on your home screen, you'll be able to firm press on an application, and it'll give you shortcut options to go into a certain part of that app. For example, on the camera, take a selfie, take a photo, take a video. There were several options that you could quickly jump into that section of the app, saving you a few milliseconds of time. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, why would I need that? I mean, why would I need to save a few seconds of time? It's not a big deal for me. Well, that's not really what it's about. It's about streamlining what you're so used to, making more use of it, bringing more control, more options to you without cluttering up your display with a whole bunch of buttons. It's simple, but it's so complex at the same time. And I cannot wait to get my hands on it and try it out. This technology is basically going to shape the future, and I guarantee Samsung and many Android competitors will start implementing this technology just like they took Touch ID from the iPhone 5s and added it to all of their phones. It really will change the way you use your phone, and I urge you guys to go into the store when it is available and try it out, because it really will change the way you use your phone. And even if you don't think it's a big deal, try it out first and then judge. So alongside this new 3D Touch display, there's a new haptic engine. Now, this haptic engine is available in MacBooks already and the new Apple Watch. So it's a much better version of the vibration motor already inside of the iPhone 6. It basically takes less time to activate. It can be more subtle, so it'll make less noise, but it could catch your attention more in your pocket. It'll actually be a more violent vibration motor without the noise that comes with it. Not only that, but it will actually add more responsiveness to your device. So pretty much the whole purpose behind it is to make your phone feel alive. When you use the 3D Touch technology, your phone will use the haptic engine, and it'll shake your phone just a little bit, and it'll feel really good. There'll be a very good responsiveness to that technology. So let's talk power. The iPhone 6s is a true powerhouse. This thing is so much more powerful than the iPhone 6, and if you're a heavy user of your phone, if you constantly notice that the iPhone 6 just isn't enough for you, if it lags and hangs in some areas, the iPhone 6s will do so much better. Now, officially, we don't have the actual specs just yet, but we do know about the RAM, and we do know about the improvement in power over the iPhone 6. Now, that improvement is 70% over the iPhone 6. So this thing, performance-wise, is 70% faster. Now, GPU performance, that is going to make a massive difference for video editing, for gaming, for playing back media. The iPhone 6s has a 90% more powerful GPU than the iPhone 6. And that puts it into console class GPUs. I mean, can you believe that? All in a phone. That's really incredible. And the CPU is already in desktop class territory on an iPhone. That really just blows my mind that we're living in a future where this can be more powerful for some people than their computers at home. Now, we do know that the iPhone 6s has 2 GB of RAM, and that has already been confirmed. So the iPhone 6 has only 1. Now, the difference in RAM is basically reloading pages. If you use your app switcher a lot, if you go back and forth from Safari, you're constantly refreshing. The apps or the pages are reloading because there's just not enough memory on your device to constantly cache them. Well, that problem will be resolved with the iPhone 6s. You'll notice a lot less refreshing. The phone will just feel all around snappier without things having to reload all the time. And the iPhone 6s does have a M9 coprocessor, which is now built into the A9 chip. On the iPhone 6, they're two separate chips, so by combining them, you improve efficiency and improve the amount of space in here to add new technology. Now, I wanted to talk about software. I'm a big software guy. I freaking love software updates. I love unique features on newer devices, and the iPhone 6s will have some unique tricks up its sleeve. Now, of course, there's the 3D touch. Now, beyond that, there's some more that the iPhone 6s can do that the 6 cannot. For one, Hey Siri will always be on. You'll have an option to enable Hey Siri to do it without a charging cable that the iPhone 6 requires. So you'll be able to use it all the time, anywhere. The iPhone 6s is going to have that unique trackpad feature. So you'll actually be able to force click or 3D touch click onto a keyboard and then move around, and the cursor will move in your actual message, your notes, whatever you were doing. So that was actually removed from the beta versions of iOS 9 on the iPhones, and it's now going to be introduced with 3D touch on the iPhone 6s. That'll increase productivity by twofold. I mean, that's just awesome. And the iPhone 6s will also have some unique features such as live wallpapers, live photos, and I'll get to that when I get to the cameras, but it just has a lot of software stuff that we don't even know about yet, but it will be very unique in the software compared to an iPhone 6. And I wanted to mention that the Touch ID has been improved. It has a 2x speed improvement over the iPhone 6, and the 6 had an improvement over the 5S. So I'm curious to see how it's better, because I have no problems with my iPhone 6 Touch ID, but supposedly 2x better, and it's a lot more accurate, so you'll get less read errors. And that brings us to cameras. Now, this is an important factor when considering a phone. The iPhone 6 has a megapixel size that's been used since the iPhone 4S. That's 5 years. Now, the iPhone 6s has a 12 megapixel sensor. The aperture is both the same. Now, the reason Apple didn't update the megapixels for the iPhone 6 is because they wanted to make sure they could ensure quality without just blowing up the image, but actually have the quality to back it up. Now, with the iPhone 6s, they're using a new technology called deep trench isolation. Basically, pixels are isolated. There's a little bit of space in between them so that the colors don't get mixed up and fuzzy as the image gets larger. Basically, Apple guarantees the quality when raising the megapixel size. They don't just want to do it like many competitors, just raise megapixels but don't have the quality to back it up. And there's 50% more focus pixels. That means a faster and more sharper autofocus in the iPhone 6s. As for video capability, the 6s unfortunately does not get optical image stabilization, but it does in turn get 4K video. So 4K at 30 frames per second I think will be very nice. Apple has finally caught up with that. Now, another thing, the slow motion on the iPhone 6s has received an upgrade. It's now 1080p at 120 frames per second, 720p at 240. So that's something I was really looking forward to personally, and I'm very happy Apple keeps updating these slow motion capabilities. Now, front-facing cameras on the iPhone 6s, 5 megapixels, on the 6, 1.2. So of course you're going to get a wider shot on the iPhone 6s. It'll be a better FaceTime camera. Not to mention some new unique features for the camera. You now have a full front screen flash. So Apple actually made a custom display driver chip that allows you to flash your display 3 times brighter than on the iPhone 6, basically giving you a very effective flash for the front. Not only that, but they actually color coordinate it to the actual temperature of where you're taking your picture. So you'll get a perfect true tone flash on the front of the display. I thought that was really brilliant for Apple. The front-facing camera also will get panorama and slow motion video. So it's good that they did a complete overhaul for the front-facing camera. Now, when it comes to wireless, Apple really did some great improvements to the 6s. LTE speeds are now capable of up to 300 megabits download per second. That's double of the iPhone 6. Not only that, but there's 23 LTE bands. That's more than the iPhone 6, making it the most capable phone for international travel and roaming. So this thing will do much better in other countries, and it supports the new T-Mobile 7000 standard. Now, Wi-Fi has received an upgrade as well. It's now 802.11 AC with MIMO, which is capable of up to 866 megabits download per second. That's double of the iPhone 6. So not only is the Wi-Fi faster, but it's now more stable. But unfortunately, you do need a router upgrade in order to support that feature. And Bluetooth. This is something I was waiting so long for Apple to upgrade. Bluetooth 4.2. While it may not be important for everybody, Bluetooth is basically, for me, I use it every single day in my car with portable speakers, with headphones. And 4.2 actually ensures a more stable connection, especially when you drop connections. It will reconnect to the Bluetooth faster. Not only that, but it's more efficient as well. So it's great that Apple has updated that. So that's just about it. That's actually quite a bit when I think about it, between the 6 and 6S. A lot of people don't really consider everything when upgrading these. Of course, for some people, speed is going to be more important than the new technology available in them. For some people, it's going to be LTE download speeds, but they all do add up in the 6S. There's quite a bit that make it a worthy upgrade to the iPhone 6. Now, if you're choosing between these, of course, the $100 price difference between them is a no-brainer. Go for the 6S. If you already have an iPhone 6, that's going to be a tough one. However, me personally, there is quite a lot there to justify the upgrade to the iPhone 6S. I mean, not only are you doubling your LTE and Wi-Fi speeds, you're getting an almost twice as powerful phone, twice as much RAM. There's going to be better camera capabilities. I mean, this thing is really going to do good in terms of camera and speed. There's that new technology that's going to streamline your life, allow you to do so much more in a shorter span of time and more efficiently as well. And all around, it's just a prettier phone with a new rose gold color option. So I would totally recommend you guys upgrade. It's just depending on your needs. Just look at what the iPhone 6S has to offer and decide if that's enough for you to upgrade. Now, let me give you some more reasons why you should upgrade. Well, the iPhone 6S is affordable now. Apple actually created new payment upgrade plans, $27 a month, and you'll be able to get the new iPhone every single year. That's actually a very cheap cost of ownership. Of course, you'll have to trade your phone in and all, but it's a very affordable pricing. And of course, you can still sell your iPhone 6 and use that money towards an upgrade of an iPhone 6S. So there's a lot of compelling reasons to upgrade. Just take a look at what you guys need and see if it's enough for you to upgrade. I certainly would. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. I do hope I did highlight all of the changes between these phones, and I wanted to give you guys the best possible idea. I mean, there's a lot of little things in there that would compel me to upgrade, especially the slow motion upgrade. I really like that. I really like the 3D touch, but I'm gonna wait until I use it in person before finally judging it. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope I did help you find the reason in order to upgrade, in order to justify it. Have a great day. Enjoy your iPhone 6S upgrade if you choose to do so. Peace.